Hi there, today I'm going to show you how to fasten a plastic craft eye, or sometimes they're called plastic safety eyes or animal eyes, onto a piece of fabric like a crocheted, knitted, or sewn piece of fabric. Here I have a crocheted piece of fabric. Crochet and knitting naturally have some holes in them that you can insert a post through. If you were working with a sewn piece of fabric, you would simply want to snip a very tiny hole in the weave as a way to put your post through. So this is called the eye, and it has a post and it has the eye bit that you see. I prefer eyes that have ridges along the post. I find that this allows the piece to snap on a lot more firmly, and you'll hear the click, 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 click. So in my shop, only sell eyes that have the ridges on the post. As well, you'll find variation in washers. So there are plastic washers and metal washers. I prefer the plastic washers for a couple reasons. One, the plastic washer isn't going to bend like a metal washer can, and that's if the piece is bending as you're pressing it on, that can cause some difficulty. Another reason I really like the plastic washers is if you look at the side, you'll see these little barbs. Those will actually grip onto the fabric and hold the eye in place. So if you have a metal washer without those barbs, the eye can rotate, which is fine if you have a plain black eye like the one I have here, but if you have a comic eye or an eye with some detail, then that rotation isn't desired, because then he'll start getting googly-eyed. So the plastic washer with these little grippers are great to have. So let me show you how to do it. You'll want to decide where to place your eyes, and you simply pop it in the hole. And again, if you were working with a sewn piece of fabric, you would cut a tiny little hole, really only enough for the post to go through, and pop it in. I like to put my eyes in place and then look at my piece and see, is that where I want them to go before I press the washer on? That way you can get an idea for the overall look. You can make changes. You can say, oh, I'd rather have it over here. Maybe not with the sewn fabric, but certainly with the crocheted and knitted fabric, you can do that. And then when it's where you'd want it to go, you're gonna press your washer on. You'll notice the washer has kind of a rounded side and this very flat side with the barbs. You place the flat side with the barbs to the fabric, right? So I'm gonna take this out for a moment just to show you. You want it to look like this. So with the barbs facing the back of the eye, with the fabric in between. So I'm gonna put it back inside and have it like this, okay? Now you're going to push evenly on both sides, and you hear those clicks. That's what you get with the nice ridges. On a thin piece of fabric like the one I have, I click all the way to the last ridge. If you had a thicker piece of fabric, you would click, well, as far as it goes, but maybe it would only click 2 little ridges, and that's perfectly fine. And there you are. You have a nice firm eye that doesn't rotate. You can see it's not rotating here. It's held in place by these barbs. Even though these are called safety eyes, they're not recommended for use on toys for children under the age of 3. And I'll just briefly say why. What can always happen is that the post can snap. So it's actually incredibly hard to get a washer off. I'm trying. You can see it's snapped on. This bit is angled so it won't come off. And so if you make a mistake, you'll have to take pliers to pry it off. And what actually will happen though, and what causes the safety hazard, is either the fabric ripping, so the whole eye unit coming completely out, or somehow with a bite, the post breaking off. So it's not recommended until you have a child who's not going to put things in their mouths, because it is a small choking hazard. If you do make a mistake and you want to take it off, what I find the easiest way is to take a pair of pliers, clamp down on this bit right here in between. Make sure you're not catching the fabric, because you probably want to reuse this piece, and break the head off of the washer, break the head off of the post, and that's the easiest way to do it. You can also, with some diligence, try and cut the washer off, although that's pretty hard. So there you go. I've shown you how to position, attach, and remove your plastic craft eyes, and I've also explained why the ridged post and the plastic washers I think are the best options. So if you're looking for craft eyes, head over to freshstitches.com. I stock a large supply of craft eyes, sizes 6mm all the way up to 40mm. This is a 12mm that I'm showing you right here, so you can see with my thumbnail what size that is. I also stock various colors, and they're all adhere to EN71 safety regulations. They're high quality eyes made in Japan. So head to freshstitches.com, and I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial.